بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد سيد الخلق أجمعين. اللهم ربنا اغفر لنا ذنوبنا وارحمنا واهدنا واهد بنا وعافنا يا ربنا وارزقنا وبارك لنا اللهم فيما أعطيتنا أنت الرحمن وأنت الرحيم. Inshallah, today we will continue on with some of the tafsir of Surah Al-A'raf, and as we left off from last week, we will be at the completing or starting at the ayah number 111, and we're going to keep going inshallah with the tafsir. After the story of Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam, where he this is started earlier, as we spoke about, when the confrontation between him and the epitome of evil, Fir'aun and Mala and his supporters, or his establishment, or the people are standing behind him, and he showed up, and he was telling them that I have a proof, and he says, if you have a proof, go ahead and throw it. فَأَلْقَى عَصَاهُ, he threw his cane or his mast, and it turned into a ثعبان مبين. It turned into a clear ثعبان, a clear snake in front of the people, in front of Fir'aun and his mala. And he took off his hand from his thawb, and it turned into a glowing hand with no harm to come upon it. It's glowing, showing like that. And when they looked at it, and they were impressed with what they saw. قال الملأ من قوم فرعون, the establishment or the people who are sitting with him, or the supporters, whatever the name is, إن هذا لساحر عليم, this is a very knowledgeable sorcerer, magician, and he has the ability or the knowledge for him to of control of sorcery, and on and on. They were impressed. There's absolutely no denial that they were impressed with that message, with what they saw with the cane and the hand. But they came out with an excuse. They said, يُرِيدُ أَن يُخْرِجَكُم مِّنْ أَرْضِكُم. He wants to get you out. He wants to kick you out of his own. He wants to kick you out of your land. In other words, it turned automatically. It turned right away into the issue of money, the issue of position, and that was the take back. And subhanAllah, you notice that all the prophets and messengers, one of the main points, and this is so clear in Surah Al-Shu'ara, every single prophet, every single messenger, the very first thing he says, وَمَا أَسْأَلُكُمْ عَلَيْهِ مِنْ أَجْرٍ إِنْ أَجْرِيَ إِلَّا عَلَى رَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ. I'm not asking you for reward. I'm not asking you for any pay. My pay is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In other words, I don't have a vested interest in telling you what I'm telling you. It is all from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and it's all the message from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then the next message was, قالوا أرجه وأخاه وأرسل في المدائن حاشرين. The battle has started. The establishment, they don't want to give up. They don't want to give up their position. They don't want to give up their money. They don't want to give up everything they're all about for the sake of the message of Musa alayhi salam, and even though he has a very convincing proof. So the battle already going, and they made a recommendation. They said, Arjih. And Arjih in the meaning is akhirhu, let him stand by until wa arsil, and make message sent out for fil madain, on all the cities, hashirin, to bring and collect and bring over to you. Ya'tuka, they will bring to you, bikulli sahirin alim, they will bring every single knowledgeable sorcerer. They wanted to counter back, because in their minds, what Musa alayhi salam has come with is a form of sorcery, and they wanted to counter this back. So the battle, you see the metaphorical sense of what the battle is, and the battle could possibly be different from time to time, from age to age, from generation to generation. But the point is that they're not going to give up that easy. The messengers with the haqq, with the good message, they will always be battled back. They will always be fought back by the evildoers. And don't think for a moment that the evildoers, they're going to act in a stupid way, in a bad way in the beginning. What they'll do is they will counter back in the form of one-on-one basis until they get beaten. And this is sunnah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is how it's going to work. So, delay him, bring an arsil fil madaini hashin. This is the ayah number 111, the ayah number 112. يَأْتُوكَ بِكُلِّ سَاحِرٍ عَلِيمٍ. They will bring you every single knowledgeable sorcerer. The next ayah number 113, وَجَاءَ السَّحَرَةُ. The Sahara came. وَجَاءَ السَّحَرَةُ. And the difference between, you notice that يَأْتُوكَ, أَتَى يَأْتِي, وَجَاءَ يَجِيءُ. The difference between the two words, this one will come and this one will come with force. أَتَى يَأْتِي, with force. In other words, they will be collected, they will be told with position of authority, versus وَجَاء, they came willingly, in that sense. وَجَاءَ السَّحَرَةُ فِرْعَوْنَ. They came to Fir'aun. قَالُوا إِنَّ لَنَا لَأَجْرًا إِن كُنَّا نَحْنُ الْغَالِبِينَ. Is there a ajr, is there reward for us if we are the ghalibin, if the one who's going to beat, the one who will win this confrontation? قَالَ نَعَمْ. Ayah number 14. قَالَ, he said, and obviously Fir'aun said, نَعَمْ, yes. وَإِنَّكُمْ لَمِنَ الْمُقَرَّبِينَ. And you will be from the ones who are closer to me. In other words, he will give them the money, and he will give them also, he will entice them. He will encourage them with more reward as I'm going to get you closer to me from my position. So subhanAllah, as I always tell you brothers, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned Fir'aun more than any other character in the entire Quran, more than 130 times, 140 times. And for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to tell us that every single bad action, every single evil action that a leader, somebody has committed, Fir'aun has done. Look at the story of Fir'aun. Look what he has done. I apologize, I said 140 times. Actually 76 times Fir'aun was mentioned, more than the prophets. 140 times is Musa alayhi salam was mentioned that much. So the numbers are 76 for Fir'aun and more than 136 times for Musa alayhi salam. But yet there is his nemesis, is his opposing or his adversary. قال نعم وإنكم لمن المقربين. He says yes, نعم, yes. وإنكم, and you are من المقربين. You are getting closer to me. I will give you positions with status and money. قالوا يا موسى. They said, يا موسى, O Musa, إما أن تلقي وإما أن نكون نحن الملقين. قالوا, they said, يا موسى, O Musa, either إما this or that. إما أن أذهب إلى القصر وإما أن أذهب إلى السوق. Either I'll go here or I'll go there. يا موسى, يا موسى, either you will throw, تلقي, you will throw your whatever that you have, obviously the cane here in this case. وإما, or we will, إن نكون نحن الملقين, or we will, with the ones who's going to be throwing. They're given an option who's going to start, who's going to throw. قال ألقوا. Musa alayhi salam said, ألقوا, you throw. Usually, you notice that when we play a game like football game or basketball game or a race, it is always somebody who starts has the upper hand. And the person usually who starts later, he will counter back. He will come in from a defensive position. Here, with the trust and the knowledge from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had Musa alayhi salam to delay the reaction and to make the effect of what is needed to be done. It could have been easily that, the impressive part here, that Musa alayhi salam would throw first, and then anything they would throw at it, the snake, the real snake of Musa alayhi salam would actually devour, will eat, will actually get rid of everything else they threw. But the point is, you notice how theatrically, how effective what has happened with the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is that they threw all their cane or all their snakes with the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Let's see what happened. He says, فَلَمَّا قَالَ أَلْقُوا فَلَمَّا أَلْقَوْا, when they threw, سَحَرُوا أَعْيُنَ النَّاسِ, they casted a spell, min as-sahr, they casted a spell upon the eyes of the people. وَاسْتَرْهَبُوهُمْ, and it made them scared. It's like, oh, look at the snakes. Look what has taken place. وَجَاءُوا بِسِحْرٍ عَظِيمٍ, and they brought a great amount of sorcery. So, and you notice a small notice here. Some people, like especially in the tafsir, they talk about how the sorcerers, what they've done is that they brought different tricks on the actual snakes. They made the snakes move. They made the snakes, move like an actual snakes, but they're not snakes. It's sorcery. But you notice how here how it's described differently. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says the actual magic, the actual sorcery was not on the ground, was not with these snakes. The sorcery was, it happened, and the magic, actually what they did is that they deceived, they tricked the eyes of the people. They tricked them by them doing what they think that it is happening there. وَجَاءُوا بِسِحْرٍ عَظِيمٍ, and they came in with a huge, a great amount of sorcery and trickery. So the trick did not happen on the ground. The trick happened in the eyes of the people. In the eyes of people, which is they thought they saw something that cannot be, or something amazing, or something, as we say, a miracle, or mu'jiza, a miracle from, their actions. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the next ayah here, number 117, وَأَوْحَيْنَا إِلَى مُوسَى, we made wahi, as we talked about wahi. Wahi is when somebody makes wahi to somebody else, it means that he will give him a message that is other people around him do not see the delivery of this message, is hidden away from them. And this is called what we call wahi. And wahi could happen between Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to his messengers, between Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, like, Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, like all the messengers, or it could happen between Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to a person, not necessarily a messenger, like وَأَوْحَيْنَا إِلَى أُمِّ مُوسَى, we give wahi to the mother of Musa. That happened. And also could happen between two people, like Zakaria alayhi salam, إذ خرج على قومه من المحراب فأوحى إليهم. He made wahi when Zakaria alayhi salam, when he asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for a sign or a signal, when he got the news that he will be having Yahya as his own son, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordered him for him to stay 3 days and do not speak to people. This is the alama, this is the sign what to do. فخرج على قومه من المحراب, he exited the mihrab upon his people. He made wahi to them. He did not tell them not to speak, or he's not speaking. He made wahi to them. In other words, he gave them a message, subliminal message, without talking, and noticed that he's not going to talk. And sabbihu bukratan wa ashiya. So that is the concept of wahi, and people use it as revelation. Revelation as something to be revealed. In the concept to be revealed, here is something to be given, or information or orders been given from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to Musa alayhi salam, and it's not this delivery of information is completely secret. Nobody saw it, nobody noticed it except Musa alayhi salam. He realized what it was. It could be in many different forms, whatever that message is. أوحينا, and we made wahi to Musa, and ألقي عصاك, for you to throw your cane, throw your stick. فإذا هي تلقف, and what has happened is that, suddenly it was تلقف. Talqaf is that it goes after the existing, whatever it is, snakes out there, and devours them. Talqafuhum is kind of, takes them away and devours them. ما يأفكون هي تلقف ما يأفكون. It is devouring, is destroying, it is removing of what they are making up from lies. From مما يأفكون من الإفك. The next ayah, number 118, فَوَقَعَ الْحَقِّ, the haqq has taken place. The truth, the correct, and the fixed does not change, happened. Is that the haqq what is Musa has come with happened. وَبَطِلَ مَا كَانَ يَعْمِلُونَ, and what they did, it became batil, became the opposite of it. It showed, or it appeared, it was actually appeared to people that it is incorrect, that's a lie, and it would change. 5 minutes later, they thought, oh, look at the snakes, how it's moving. Now became the snakes are nothing. They're being eaten, being destroyed. So obviously the haqq is the opposite of batil. And this is the concept here. فَوَقَعَ الْحَقُّ وَبَطِلَ مَا كَانُوا يَعْمَلُونَ. And everything they were doing, batil, it became, or actually it showed the fact that it is a lie, it is inconsistent, and it is untruthful of whatever they were doing before. فَغُلِبُوا هُنَالِكَ, they were defeated over there. فَغُلِبُوا ضمير مبني على الجماعة المجهول. فغلبوا, they were defeated. وانقلبوا صاغرين, and they turned into صغر. صاغرين, صاغر means completely listening, completely in state of obedience. When you say لتكونن من الصاغرين, you will become from the ones who is listening, who is following. من الصاغرين. Subhanallah, you notice that when the haqq happened, when Musa alayhi salam threw his cane, his mast, and devoured what they had, or batil and wrong, and they knew exactly that whatever Musa alayhi salam had was not sorcery, was not magic. It's actually reality. It is actually a mu'jiza. It is a miracle, that a true miracle it cannot be from a sorcerer, cannot be from somebody who are here on the face of this earth. It has to be a superior being, as the one they automatically believed that it is coming in from the creator of Musa alayhi salam, the creator of them, the creator of the whole concept of sorcery, and on like that. There's something they knew so well, when they saw something else that destroys it and puts it away, that made them true believers on the spot. So, وَأُلْقِيَ السَّحَرَةُ سَاجِدِينَ, in ayah number 120. The Sahara, the sorcerers, they threw themselves on the ground in the state of sujood. They prostrated. قَالُوا آمَنَّا بِرَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ. They said, we believe. آمَنَّا بِرَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ. رَبِّ مُوسَى وَهَارُونَ, the Rabb of Musa and Rabb of Harun. SubhanAllah, you notice when we talk about mu'jiza and the miracle, what is a miracle? It is a variation of, as you know, kind of quickly, inshallah, I want to mention this to you, variation of time, space, or nature. You know, as I always give you the example, we think about what's a miracle? How does a miracle happen? You know, for instance, if I want to tell you today that, let's say in Southern California, for instance, that it rained in, say, in the winter. That's normal. There's no miracle here. But if we change the time, we say it actually rained in the summer, that becomes, wow, that's a miracle. That's unusual. That's, different. So we change the time. How about we change the space? We say, you know what? The rain, normally, it never rains in the desert, like say in the middle of the desert, never rains. Well, it rained in the desert. We change the space. Become a miracle. How about when it rains, when it change the nature? How about instead of raining water, would change, let's say, would rain like beans, or would rain rice or gold, or that is a miracle. So basically, if you think about it this way, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who owns the space, who owns the time, who owns the nature of things, it's so easy for him to change the variance. All what it takes one variation for this to happen, and could possibly be 3 variations. Can you imagine that it rains in the desert and it rains diamond? It's 3 miracles at the same time. And this is what, the basic concept of miracle. The miracle here of Musa alayhi salam was a change of nature. All it took for that cane to change from a wood, cane into a living snake is an action, his action to throw it on the ground, just to throw it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordered him, and remember, the order has to come. He has to initiate the miracle. People have to initiate it. You notice that? And this is kind of prevalent in the entirety in the Quran, in everything you see in our lives like that. You remember when Maryam, when she's pregnant, she's just about ready to have a baby, and she's alone by herself. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent Jibreel to her. The second order he told her to shake the trunk of the tree for her to have dates, fresh dates for her to eat. Initiation has to happen for her. She has to shake the trunk of the tree, and the trunk tree will drop the the dates. The same thing, Musa alayhi salam was ordered for him. وإذ استسقى موسى لقومه. Musa alayhi salam made istisqa, asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for water. فقلنا اضرب بعصاك الحجر. We told him to strike the rock with his cane. فانفجرت منه 12 عينا. 12 different springs of water came out of the rock. But the initiation, as we call it today, asbab, like that. And these, and on, so many different, examples, like when Musa alayhi salam, to initiate the miracle from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for him to split the ocean, split the sea. فَقُلْنَا اضْرِبْ بِعَصَاكَ الْبَحْرِ. We told him, we ordered him to strike the ocean, the water, with your cane. Ayyub alayhi salam, فَغْسِلْ, if you want to get rid of the sickness, go wash yourself. This is the initiation of the miracle. Yaqub alayhi salam, for him to gain his eyesight back, his son Yusuf told his brothers, take my shirt, فَأَلْقُوهُ فِي بِوَجْهِ أَبِي, throw the shirt in the eyes of or in the face of my father. يَأْتِ بَصِيرًا, he will have an eyesight. So it has the initiation happen. And you notice that that's the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala here on the face of this earth. With everything that we see, you leave your house. That's all it takes for you to make the money. You initiate gaining the money. For you to submit and for you to go learn and for you to get a degree, you have to initiate it. It has to come from you. Everything has to happen from your side to start, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will complete the miracle. You will keep going with everything else. Some scholars actually said, why do we think that converting the cane from a piece of wood into a living snake, why do we think that a rock that would have 12 springs of water was split from it, that's a miracle? Why do we think that splitting the ocean is a miracle? Why do we think of everything else in the world as a miracle from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Why? Why don't we think that simply that when you take a simple seed, which just looks like a very small seed, way smaller than your thumb, and all what you do is that you stick it, you hide it underneath the dirt, and you pour some water on it, and you come back, you're going to find a beautiful, bountiful tree with apples in it and pears, would consume two substances which is abundantly available. Some, the oxygen or the carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide, and whatever it is in the earth and the water, and will produce to you different kind of fruits. That is a miracle. If you think about it, that's a miracle. When you think about, for somebody as simple as a hunk of metal that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala granted mankind for him to be able to make something called a car out of it. And it takes a piece of small metal out of in your hand, which is a key. You stick it in there and you find this machine moves, at your command. That is a miracle. But subhanAllah, we don't realize, we don't see the manipulation, how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala manipulate things here on the face of this earth into our hands in the most miraculous way, but we take it for granted. Now we seek something bigger. And subhanAllah, you notice that how sometimes we're not willing to do the work, which is a form of miracle. We want to have a miracle according to our minds. Like, for instance, you have the kid who says, you know what, I want to be a Superman. I want to be able to fly, with nothing but a cape on my back. And I want to, be like a Batman, which is, I have this ability for me to innovate, invent things, and I could get away with, trouble. And subhanAllah, I think about it, it's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala telling us that you can be a Superman of some sort. And you can be Batman, and you can be you are the most miraculous being here on the face of this earth. But if you know the rules, you know how to play them, and you'll be satisfied with whatever is given. to you. So keep going here, inshallah. قال فرعون. Now, what happened is that the plan of Pharaoh completely went awry, went completely destroyed. He thought, or in the back of his mind, this battle that he started, he initiated to defeat Musa alayhi salam and Harun, he will be successful at it. But when he brought in all these sorcerers and he enticed them with money, he bribed them and he told them that, he enticed them with positions and different things, and they threw their sticks and their ropes or whatever they had in their hand, and they put sorcery and magic on the eyes of the people who are watching. They made them think that it's really, they are moving and they're really snakes. And when Musa alayhi salam threw his cane, which is turned out to be it's the real miracle, no sorcery here. It actually ate up what they threw on the ground. His plans went completely in shambles. He did not think about this. He did not even for a moment thought that Musa alayhi salam is going to be victorious. He would turn immediately into batash, into counterback, into violence, into a form of, power, that he wants to subdue the people who defied him. قال فرعون, the ayah number 123, قال فرعون آمنتم به قبل أن آذن لكم. He says, Fir'aun, and he was completely disgraced by what has happened. Everything he planned went wrong. He said to the sorcerers, after when they threw themselves on the ground in the state of prostration and submission, he says, آمنتم به قبل أن آذن لكم. You believed in him before I give you permission? How could you do that? He's still hanging on to his position. He's still hanging on to his place. إن هذا لمكر مكرتموه في المدينة لتخرجوا منها أهلها فسوف تعلمون. He says, this is makr. This is a tadbir. This is work that you have made up, hidden. And we talk about the word makr. Makr, as I mentioned, in our languages in general, it means, in generality, it means that it is a deviant or something that is of evil nature. We talk about the fox being makar, fox. And this is the name that we generally say for it. But the makar in the Quran is something different. Makar is not something bad. And why do we say that? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does makar, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala never does anything bad. So, وَيَمْكُرُونَ وَيَمْكُرُ اللَّهُ وَاللَّهُ خَيْرُ الْمَاكِرِينَ. They make makar, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes makar. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the best makirin, the best one who does makar. So, makar simply is a tadbir or work or planning and something that's being done in secrecy. If you notice the fox, what does he do? He digs tunnels under the ground, away from the eyes of the people. He enters on one side, he exits the other side, and you can never tell what he's doing. And he completely fools you of what you think you're doing. Where is he at? What is he doing? That is called makar because it's done under the ground. Here, makar is tadbir, and work is done in secrecy. So what is he accusing them? What is Pharaoh is accusing the sorcerers? He's saying that you are doing this in secrecy. And obviously, to complete his scheme, he has to come out with a reason. Why? لِتُخْرِجُوا مِنْهَا أَهْلَهَا. For you to kick out its people, to kick them out and get them out. And he, in a threatening manner, he says, فَسَوْفَ تَعْلَمُونَ. فَسَوْفَ, you will find out. You will have knowledge of what's going to happen to you. لأقطعن أيديكم وأرجلكم من خلاف ثم لأصلبنكم أجمعين. I will cut off your hands and feet from the opposite direction. Right hand with the left foot, or left hand with right foot, in a very disgraceful way, to make an example out of them. وَلَأُصَلِّبَنَّكُمْ أَجْمَعِينَ. And I will crucify you in a forceful way, all of you, of what you have claimed. قالوا, they said, إِنَّا إِلَىٰ رَبِّنَا مُنْقَلِبُونَ. We will turn away to our Rabb, to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَمَا تَنْقَمُ عَلَيْنَا. And you are not taking revenge on us for anything else, إِلَّا أَنْ آمَنَّا بِآيَاتِ رَبِّنَا, except for us to believe and for us to truly have the complete commitment to our ayat, to our signals and miracles and signs from our Rabb. من ربنا. When it came to us, لما جاءتنا. And then they made the dua, ربنا أفرغ علينا صبرا وتوفنا مسلمين. Look at the commitment. Look at the drive. When they saw them, they saw the proof. They saw the proof in their own eyes of something they know very well. They know sorcery. They knew sorcery. They knew everything about sorcery. When they saw something that is definitely haqq, there's no way it could be sorcery. This is not a trickery. This is not to trick people's eyes, whatever. They saw a proof, living proof in front of them. The natural reaction would be, is that for them to commit to Rabbul Alameen, the one who is the owner, the one who is substantiator of this proof, is the cane of Musa alayhi salam. And they do not care. Can you imagine for you to see the proof of the existence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala right there in front of your eyes in the most convincing way? What would you do? What do we do? They're prostrated. Look at what they've done. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about the story of these sorcerers multiple times in the Quran. When they saw the proof, 100% proof in front of their eyes, what did they do? They prostrated on the ground with no regard whatsoever to their master, their old master at this point, Fir'aun. And Fir'aun, he acted or reacted with the most amount of violence. He will, and you can imagine, he will cut off their hands in min khilaf, hands and feet in different, left by right and up and down, in reverse directions, and he will crucify them. He will hang them on, or he will impale them on sticks. What did they do? Complete commitment. قالوا إن آمنا برب موسى وهارون. And when he told them that I'm going to do that to you, that actually increased their iman. He says, you are not taking revenge from us, except for us that we believe in the ayat of, or the signals, or the information that was provided to us from Musa alayhi salam. What a commitment. What a story about great servants of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They went completely off the path before because of the positions they were in, because of the work, the evil work of Fir'aun. How in Surah Taha, how they said, "Ala ma akrahtana alayhi min as-sihr." You forced us to do this kind of sihr. You made us do this kind of sihr. And obviously we know the story is that these sorcerers, they used to learn this kind of trade or this kind of sorcery early on in their lives. They did not have much choice. They were brought in as the smartest kids. They were brought in, they were taught this kind of sorcery, and they were used for the purpose of Fir'aun, to advance his purposes, to enforce his rule upon the people. Complete commitment is inna ila rabbina munqalibun, and you don't take advantage of it, or you don't take revenge from us, except for the fact that we believed in the ayat of our Rabb, and they made the dua, and a beautiful dua. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us from the ones who always recite this dua. رَبَّنَا أَفْرِغْ عَلَيْنَا صَبْرًا. Ya Allah, أفرغ. And أفرغ literally min al-farag, to empty upon us. صبرًا, patience. وَتَوَفَّنَا, make tawfiyah to us, and do not let us die, and make us die when we die, Muslimin, in the state of Islam, state of submission to you, Ya Allah. Afrig is a very interesting word. The closest example I could tell you about afrig is this. If you want to give somebody something, let's say you want to give him water, So what do? He's sitting there. So what do? You take a big bucket of water and you take it to him. How are you going to present it to him? You want to just give it to him kind of gently, nicely? Or you want to take it to really, really give it to him? What do is you take all the water in this bucket and you empty it right on him, everything. Completely smother him with the water. How about if you want to give him money? You take a big, huge box or a bucket or whatever it is, barrel of money, and you empty it right on top of him. This is yours. Take it. You're going to be smothered with money. There's going to be a big pile of money, big mountain of money, and you are inside of it. This is all yours. أفرغ علينا صبرا. Empty upon us. But we don't use it as to empty upon us in that meaning. We use it as to give us a lot of sabr, in the meaning, but I'm giving you the literal meaning because the word actually goes back from faragh. Faragha. Faragh, it means emptiness. We say afrigh, it means to empty. Like we say empty the container. Afrigh al-shahina. Or afrigh jiyubak, your jayb, your pocket. Afrigh, to empty, like in this meaning. وقال الملأ من قوم فرعون أتذر موسى وقومه ليفسدوا في الأرض ويذرك وآلهتك. قال الملأ. Now, we think of Fir'aun as evil as he is, or he was, that he is the epitome of evil, but actually there is establishment. There's people behind him who are enticing him. They are pushing him. They are working to substantiate the evil in his actions and to push him more and more things for him to do bad. So, remember what they told him earlier. Arjih, wa akhi, delay him and his brother and bring the sorcerers. Their plan, the plan of Pharaoh, the plan of the Mala, the people who are behind him, completely went to disarray, went completely destroyed. Now, how are they going to counter back? And this is Ayah 127. وقال الملأ, the Mala from the people of Pharaoh, the Mala, the establishment, the dignitary, or the ones who give the opinion, the support, and on, whatever you want to call them. They told him, are you أتذر Musa? Are you going to let Musa? أتذر ذرني ومن خلقت وحيدا. Leave me, ذرني, leave. أتذر, are you going to leave Musa وقومه and his people ليفسدوا في الأرض, to transgress, to make fasad, to make mischief in earth. ويذرك, and he will leave you, وآلهتك, and your deities, your gods. Is this what you're going to do? قال, he countered back. What are we going to do? He actually came with more plan. He's قال سنقتل أبناءهم, we will kill their male children. ونستحيي نساءهم, we will allow the female children, the females from his people to still stay alive. وَإِنَّا فَوْقَهُمْ قَاهِرُونَ, we are on top of them. We are subduing them. We are completely controlling them. مِنَ القهر. قهر, to control, to subdue. And by the way, this comes to mind, the name of Qahira. Qahira is the capital of Egypt, and this is what we call it Cairo. It's Qahira. And sometimes some of the Sultan, they used to call themselves as Sultan Bibris al-Qahir, the subduer, the conqueror, in that way. We will conquer them, we will subdue them, in that meaning. What did they tell him? The Mala, they told him, says, are you going to allow him? Are you going to allow Musa to, and his people, to make fasad in earth? What is fasad here? What is the mischief? In their eyes is that anything that is different than their ways, that will become mischief, they'll become bad. And it is completely relative in the eyes of Musa alayhi salam. What they are doing, it is the fasad, it is the mischief. But they are thinking that if he takes over, which is obviously seems to be the signs of victory already there in front of them, if that is the case, what's going to happen is the change will happen, and in their eyes they'll become fasad. And we say fasad is that, in a concept, as a conceptual idea, is that the fasad or the mischief is when somebody makes fasad, is that when and the opposite of the word salah is that when you have an object or something that is different or acts different than the purpose meant for it by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala here on the face of this earth. Like we talk about an apple or a piece of meat. A piece of meat, when it is salihah lil isti'mal, it is suitable, it is usable for us. Piece of meat, how? It is fresh, it smells good, it tastes good. When you cook it, everything about it is ready to be used. It's in state of salah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created this meat for us to use. It's salih. When this piece of meat turns rotten, turns bad, or smells, or turns green, or it becomes slimy, or whatever it is, that becomes fasid. But for us, becomes fasid as human beings. We're gonna consume this piece of meat. But maybe for a hyena, that would think that this is the best meat ever. Because in the eyes of the hyena, the stinkier, the smellier it is, the better it is for him. So it is relative of who's going to look at it. But the general concept of salah is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala meant for things to be here on the face of this earth to do the job Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala designated for them to do. For instance, rajulun salih, a man that is salih. What does that mean? It means that he does what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordered him to do, created him to do here on the face of this earth, to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to submit to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to obey all the messengers, for him to do good, to stay away from bad, for him to order people to do good, and for him to order people, to tell people to stay away from bad. This is Rajul Salih. The Rajul Fasid, the opposite of it, liyufsidu, is that he will disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He never worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala properly or makes partners with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He will indulge in bad things, evil things. He will be gambling, drinking, hurting others, and on and on. So the mala of Musa alayhi salam, they're saying to him is that, are you going to allow him to make fasad, to commit mischief and something bad in their standards? And yet, subhanAllah, things have turned the opposite direction, completely the opposite. And he will leave you. He will never take you for account, leave you and your deity, your God. He told them, he says, we will kill their children. More violence, more, destruction. He countered back. Not only he wanted to kill and and crucify all the sorcerers, now he wants to kill all the children of Bani Israel, the Israelite, and allow the women to survive and live, to use them and abuse them. قال موسى لقومه. Now Musa turns the other direction to his people. You notice that the fight here, or the work of Musa alayhi salam, two different fronts. One front is with Fir'aun and his establishment and his bad organization, what he was doing. And the other side of the work of Musa alayhi salam is his own people on the other side. How is he gonna lift up the spirits? How is he gonna enforce the concepts of work and do the work that they need to be done? And subhanAllah, you notice, and this is the concept here. You notice that Musa alayhi salam, he was obviously a messenger, but also with his being a messenger, automatically he's a prophet. Like Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam is a messenger and a prophet. Messenger is, and in a nutshell, and this is kind of been described and kind of detailed in many different ways. Messenger is the one who is sent to people with a new religion, for them, and if he is disobeyed or not followed, a torture will come, or he has the enforcement for torture. And there's the many explanations of what is messenger, what's the difference between messenger and a prophet. But you notice that not every prophet is a messenger, but every messenger is a prophet. Why? Like you look at Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He's a messenger to the kuffar, to the disbelievers, and he's a prophet to his own followers. Like Musa alayhi salam, he's a messenger to Fir'aun and his mala, and he's a prophet to his own people, to correct their path, to remove the sicknesses and the illnesses or the deviation out of their own deen, to correct their path of what they're doing. But he's a messenger as a warner to Fir'aun and his mala in this concept. So here we hear, this is one of the few times we hear about what has happened between Musa alayhi salam and his other side, the other confrontation between him and his own people. What did he do with them prior to crossing the Red Sea? And the rest of it, crossing the Red Sea, at this point, there's a lot of things to talk about. What they've done with them, how they denied, how they took the golden calf, and on and on. But here, you see what has happened with them. He says, قال موسى لقومه. Musa said to his own people, استعينوا بالله. Ask help from Allah, from ma'una, help. By the way, when we recite the ayah, وَالَّذِينَ يَمْنَعُونَ الْمَاعُونَ, some scholars talk about it, some people explain it as يَمْنَعُونَ الْمَاعُونَ, they stop or they don't want to give out food. But ma'un is any ma'una, any help, anything that is of a benefit to others, to help others with whatever they need, you know. So, ista'inu billah. You remember the hadith of Ibn Abbas when Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he was on the back of the camel, and Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhuma, he was sitting behind him, and he says, Ya ghulam, إذا استعنت فاستعن بالله وإذا سألت فاسأل الله. إذا استعنت, if you make isti'ana, if you're asking for help from anybody, ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for help, for ma'una, for help. And if you ask, وإذا سألت, if you ask anything, فاسأل الله, ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. To the rest of the hadith, it's a beautiful hadith to tell you, we learn so many beautiful things from it, how Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam took advantage of that time when it's the little boy learning the deen, he was sitting in his back, he took advantage of that moment and thought of something so important, so essential, you know, and the rest of the hadith, I'm not going to recite it right now. So, ista'inu billah, number one. Number two, wasbiru, have sabr, have patience. And he gave him the rule, إن الأرض لله يورثها من يشاء من عباده والعاقبة للمتقين. This earth, it will, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give, يورثها, give earth to whomever he wants and he chooses from his ibad. والعاقبة, and the end game, the end of everything will be for the muttaqeen, the ones who have taqwa. So what is earth? Yurithuha. Yurithuha. This is a beautiful word, said in the most beautiful way. And we usually use the word earth as inheritance and say qawaneen or qanoon, or the rules of inheritance, qanoon al-irth, and that meaning. Yurith means is that will turn over from one entity to another entity. When a father dies, passes away, the children will inherit, will gain possession, in literal meaning, will gain possession of his, wealth, of his property, of all what he has. That's called inheritance. But you notice, and also Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned this, like this earth, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make the people, the good people will inherit it, will give it to them. But you notice that the word inheritance, it means a rightful owner, is a rightful or obligatory transfer, inheritance, to inherit. Like the good doers will inherit the Jannah. It means not only will turn to them, exclusively to them, and it is the right, they are rightful owners of the Jannah. Because they're being good. So it has a meaning of force. It's not a gift, it's not a hadiyah, it's not something to be passed on because maybe not. No. They will own it. They are the rightful owners of this earth. It will turn to them. This is a natural thing to turn to them. The Jannah, the same thing to the muttaqeen, in that meaning. قالوا, subhanallah, and you notice here, after, they heard the threat from, Fir'aun and his mala, when he says, we will kill their children, and we will, make their women are alive, we will abuse them and use their women, and we will subdue them, we will conquer them, what they're doing. Musa alayhi salam, as the good messenger, good prophet as he is, he told him, Sta'inu billah, ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for help. Wasbiru, be patient. And the earth, remember, the earth will turn to you, or to whomever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chooses to offer these to them. Man yasha'u min ibadihi, whomever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants from his ibad. وَالْعَاقِبَةُ لِلْمُتَّقِينَ, and the end game, the end of everything will turn into muttaqeen. As if, and you notice that Musa alayhi salam did not tell them that you will inherit the earth. He was saying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would turn earth to whomever he chooses, but he gave them the other rule is that al-aqiba, the end, will be for the muttaqeen. So, in other words, he's asking them, he says, ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for help, and have sabr, and make yourself muttaqeen. If you are in the state of tuqa, the earth will turn to you. Everything that is right now under the control of Fir'aun will be under your control. All the possessions of Fir'aun will be yours. All the wealth of Fir'aun will be yours because you are, if, and the condition here, if you climb up, you raise yourself to the state of tuqa. And how do you get raise of tuqa? How do you raise yourself to get to be in higher up and up in the state of tuqa? Is simply by having two major keys for you to achieve that level. Number one is that make isti'ana, ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for help. Number two is have sabr, be patient on whatever calamity, whatever that's going to happen to you. You, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will raise you in the status of tuqa. They said to him, and this is ayah number 129, قالوا أوذينا من قبل أن تأتينا. We are being hurt. You're being in a state of hurt. أوذينا من الأذى. Before you came to us. ومن بعد, and afterwards. What a nation is this? Before Musa alayhi salam, before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said Musa alayhi salam to them, they're making dua, Ya Allah, send a prophet for us. Ya Allah, alleviate the pressure off of us. Ya Allah, let us get off this, calamity, this disaster, this bad person, which is Fir'aun. And how many Fir'auns out there? Subhanallah, how many Fir'auns are there from that Fir'aun? How many of them out there? Many, multiple Fir'auns. When they're asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for Fir'aun, they wanted to have the easy way. Send us a hero, a giant hero, a big hero, that will take the pressure off of us and we will just kind of live happily ever after. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that it doesn't work like this. You have to spend the effort. You have to make isti'ana billah. Make ista'inu billahi wasbiru, have sabr, have patience. They turned down the message. They said, well, we were hurt before you came. No, we made dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala send it for us. And now we're being even hurt more or as much. وَمِن بَعْدِ as well. وَمِن بَعْدِ مَا جِئْتَنَا, after he came to us. قال Musa alayhi salam answered back, قال عسى ربكم أن يهلك عدوكم. عسى حرف ترجي, رجاء, hopeful, maybe, hopefully, عسى, that your Rabb will destroy your enemy. وَيَسْتَخْلِفَكُمْ فِي الْأَرْضِ, and he will make istikhlaf for you in the earth. He will take away the rule and the control of earth from them. He will turn it over to you. فَيَنْظُرْ, why? He will look. فَيَنْظُرْ, he will look. كَيْفَ تَعْمَلُونَ, he will see how you're going to do. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave the control of earth to Fir'aun, and he saw what they did. Destruction, mischief, bad. Okay, time for them to go. Now let's turn it into Bani Israel. You were mustadafin, you were the weak ones, they were the strong ones. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to turn the wheel. وَتِلْكَ الْأَيَّامُ نُدَاوِلُهَا بَيْنَ النَّاسِ, we'll turn it between the people. They were on top, they will have the strength and the money and the control. They will come down and you will be up on top. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not going to give it to you as a gift. He's not going to give it to you for free. First of all, you're going to have to work for it, just like everything else in this earthly life. Plus, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give it to you for the condition to know how are you going to do? What are you going to do? What's your performance? What's your behavior? It's a test. It's nothing but a big, huge test. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tested Fir'aun. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would test Bani Israel. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would test the Muslims. He tested Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and his followers in the days when they were in Mecca, when the days they were in Medina. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tested them. We've been testing us, humans, the followers of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and otherwise all over the years. And subhanAllah, today, the Muslim Ummah today is in state of shambles, the state of separation. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, maybe He's given us a sign that if you make isti'ana with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if you seek help from Him and you have sabr, He will turn the table. He will put you on top again, but not because you just happen to be good for the sake of just being good. He will give you that position and for you to be tested, for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to see what position you're going to turn things into. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless us and bless our hearts and bless our minds. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala increase our knowledge in the Quran and have us more knowledge inshallah with everything we do. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala inshallah grant us Jannat al-Firdaus with everything, inshallah, as unconditional giving with his grant us this great position, inshallah.